Hey, Adam, thanks for taking the time to talk to us today. Kind of like a two-part question. Obviously, you guys have done so well in close games in your nine-game winning streak, winning seven of them by four or less points. What are some of the elements that go into that success? And then also, if you could maybe talk about, did you guys learn anything from those back-to-back, close losses that you had earlier to Colts and Chargers?
Yeah, this might be a boring answer for it, but it is truly, I believe, like culture, belief. Everybody wants to play for each other in the locker room, and there's just this like feeling that you can't really describe. That like you never truly feel like you're out of it, and I know that we feel that way specifically on offense because of how great our defense is. So. Um, I would say that's why we're able to pull a lot of these games out. And then learning from earlier games in the year, I mean, we were so close in those as well. And it just comes down to finishing, doing your assignment, doing your job, maybe being a little more detailed. But yeah, I think I honestly don't think that we necessarily just like learned from those. I think we just kept doing what we're doing, and we're on the right side of things right now. And obviously, we've been really good in these one-score games.
Arnie Stapleton, The Associated Press.
Yeah, and I'm sort of on the same vein. I'm wondering, they talk a lot about how a young team has to learn how to win, and then, once you learn how to win, then you can compete. And I'm wondering if there's like a calmness in the huddle that you sense in the fourth quarter or in overtime with Bo or with anybody, is just knowing that you've pulled out so many of these close wins that, you sort of have a low heartbeat type of thing.
Yeah. And that obviously stems from Bo because he is so calm. Like maybe make a little joke or smile or something in the huddle, and everyone feels relaxed. And I think we all just trust each other at a very high level. But yeah, we are super confident going into all those situations. I heard Cortland saying yesterday, like when we were going to that 2-minute drill at the end of the first half, he was like, good. Like I feel like we feel good about scoring, and we did. So there's just like this belief, and it's pretty uncommon.
Eric
Thanks.
Dwala, DenverBroncos.com.
Yeah, Adam, you talked a couple weeks ago kind of in defense of Bo and talked about your guys' belief in him. But
Mm-hmm.
what is it about him that when you're in the huddle in those moments, whether it's overtime, whether it's one of these comeback wins you guys have had, that you guys believe in him and that he can kind of do this week in and week out? He had that throw yesterday at the end of the first half, obviously, but it seems like every
Mm-hmm.
week there's some sort of kind of spectacular moment in those tough situations.
Yeah, I mean, it's just his overall demeanor. He never feels shaken by anything. And I mean, like you're watching him, he gets us out of a lot of bad situations as well. Like for instance, there was this play yesterday. I don't know when it was. Maybe it was third or fourth quarter, and he escapes like three people and just darts the ball and gets it. Like he's just a gamer, and he finds ways to fix things. And I think that's where all the confidence stems from, and why we believe in him so much.
Andrew Mason, 1043 The Fan.
Yeah, Trout, kind of in that same vein, Sean was mentioning that his ability to climb the pocket, throw off schedule, that these are things you can't necessarily work on in practice. So for kind of everyone on the offense, how do you kind of plan and prepare for these things, these organic moments, to leap beyond play structure and design that really aren't scriptable to make these things work?
Yeah, I think that's something you kind of had to learn with him over time through the last couple of years, because that is true. Like you don't necessarily work on those things in practice. Now, I will say specifically we place an emphasis on red zone scramble. So we do practice that like during training camp or during OTAs and all that. But it's knowing like, hey, you run your route, you get covered, keep your eyes on Bo, and once he breaks, work with him. So it's kind of a learned thing. You just kind of learned it over time. And, we talk about it. We talk about where your landmarks are. If you're if you're deep in the progression where you need to end up on a scramble drill, if it's to your side, if it's away from your side, if you're shallow, where you need to go, and how you fit into that. So we create proper spacing, and then that's why guys end up wide open, because we understand that and we play off of each other. So it's definitely a part of his game that's got some magic to it, and it's gotten us out of a lot of bad situations or pressure situations.
Zach Stevens, DNVR.
Hey Adam, thanks for talking with us today. Yesterday, Evan Ingram was the leading receiver in terms of yards. You were 3 with Court right in between you guys. Was that a glimpse of what this tight end room can be in the pass game?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it all the time, right? And it's just taking advantage of opportunities that come your way. You know, sometimes the ball doesn't find you, and that's just part of the game. You know, it doesn't matter if you're first in the progression, second in the progression. Sometimes it just doesn't work that way, right? Sometimes Bo has to scramble and then make a play, and maybe that's one of your called plays, and then it just doesn't happen. So I think we did a great job of taking advantage of all those opportunities, and specifically Evan making that play in overtime. I mean, it pretty much, who knows where that goes, because it was like whatever, I don't know how long it was, 40-something yards, 50-something yards, whatever it was. And that puts us in position to score and get us to some of the other plays that we really, really like as an offense in our game planning. So, yeah, I think it's just a glimpse of what it could be.
Last question, Luca Evans, the Denver Post.
Hey Adam, obviously RJ did a lot of really great things last night, but just kind of in general, the run game the last 2 weeks without JK just hasn't been quite as efficient in general. Do you ascribe that more to kind of what defenses have been doing the last couple of weeks? What do you think is kind of the key there, watching back the tape from last night, especially to kind of get you guys going there a little bit?
Yeah, I've said this before, but sometimes it's just one assignment here, one assignment there, and it might be a different guy on each player, whatever the case it is too. But also, RJ, he's been running great, but obviously he's a rookie and he's seeing these schemes and seeing how they develop and play out. So he's only going to get more comfortable with some of these as he goes on. Obviously, I don't really know necessarily schematically what was emphasized at UCF and everything, but he's only going to get better every week with everything. Seeing holes, understanding where kind of how the scheme fits and where his eyes are and stuff. And he's been great with that. He's a smart player. He works his tail off. So it's only going to get better. But yeah, I mean, there's no way you can downplay losing JK, who was top 5 back when he was healthy. This year, like, he was top 5 in rushing yards since I don't know what week it was, but he was obviously great for us. But we are obviously very confident in our backs, and then obviously we have a lot of confidence in our front.
Adam, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today.
Yeah, thank you.